Good evening, friends. Today we are going to read a poem tonight and analyze the poem written by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Shelley was a great romantic poet in English, a radical in his poetry as well as in his political and social views. Shelley did not see fame during his lifetime, but recognition of his achievements in poetry grew steadily following his death. Shelley became a key member of a close circle of visionary poets and writers and included Lord Byron, John Keats, Leigh Hunt, Thomas Love, and his own second wife, Mary Shelley. Shelley is perhaps the best known for his classical poems such as Ozymandias, Ode to the West Wind, To a Skylark, The Cloud, The Mask of Anarchy. His other major works include a groundbreaking verse drama, The Cenci. A great poet of all times, Shelley has written a poem, Tonight, which is a wonderful poem. Shelley, Tonight, is a melodious poem with beautiful rhyme, rhythm, and imagery. Now, the poem, Tonight. Swiftly walk over the western wave, sprite of the night, out of the misty eastern cave, where all the long, lone daylight thou wovest dreams of joy and fear, which make the terrible and the dear swift to be by the light. Wrap thy form in a mantle grey, star inwrought, blind with thine eye, the eyes of day, kiss her until she wearied out, then wander over the city and sea and land, touching all with thine opiate wand, come long sought. When I arose and saw the dawn, I sighed for thee, when light rode high, and the dew was gone, and the noon lay heavy on the flower and tree, and the weary day turned to his rest, the lingering like an unloved guest, I sighed for thee. The brother death came and cried, wouldst thou me? Thy sweet child sleep, the filmy eyed, murmured like a noontide bee, shall I nestle near thy side? Wouldst thou me? And I replied, no, not thee. Death will come when thou art dead. Soon, too soon, sleep will come when thou art fled. Of neither would I ask the boon. I ask of thee, beloved night, swift be thine approaching flight. Come soon, soon. This is a very, very remarkable lyric by Percy Bysshe Shelley. It is full of passion and the yearning, so typical of much of Shelley's poetry. The poem Tonight expresses Shelley's intense, strong desire for night, which he has personified. The poem is a wonderful illustration of Shelley's power of marking his own myths. Not only has night been personified and made to live before us, but day, sleep, and death are also treated in the same manner. Furthermore, relationships have been established between night, sleep, and death. Now, let us go for the analysis of the poem, para by para. Swiftly walk over the western way, spirit of night, out of the misty eastern cave, where all the long and lone daylight Thou wovest dreams of joy and fear, which make the terrible and dear swift be thy flight. Now, analysis of those lines. The poet here makes an appeal to night, which has been personified. Night seems to the poet to be a living being capable of acting in accordance with its own will and capable of listening to the poet. Shelley has therefore created a myth here. He appeals to night to spread itself over the western sky where the sun sets. He imagines that night spends the hours of daylight in some misty eastern cave all alone, and it keeps busy during that time manufacturing, weaving dreams of joy and fear for the human beings. These dreams are seen by human beings during their sleep at night. Sweet dreams which human beings see make night dear to them, but the frightening dreams which they see make night terrible to them. Thus, human beings are in love with night, and yet, at the same time, they are afraid of night. The poet is in love with night without being afraid of it. He wants night to come swiftly and without any delay. Now, wrap thy form in a mantle grey, star in wrought. About these lines, the poet calls upon the night to wrap itself in a grey colored cloak which has stars woven in its texture. The dark sky is regarded here as the mantle of the night, and the stars that shine in the sky are supposed to be woven in the texture of that mantle. Next, blind with thine eye, the eyes of day, kiss her until she be wearied out. Here, day is also personified. The poet asks night to come and spread its black hair over the eyes of day so that day may no longer be able to see. Then the poet asks night to overwhelm day with kisses. Let day be kissed so vehemently and repeatedly that day feels tired of these kisses and flees from this world. This is a poetic fancy. What the poet means is that with the coming of night, day withdraws from this world. Then wander over city and sea and land, touching all with thine opiate wand. Come, long sought. We are to imagine that night carries in its hand magic staffs, which has the power of sending everyone who is touched with it to sleep. When night comes, all creatures fall asleep. Next, when I rose and saw the dawn, I sighed for thee. When light rode high and the dew was gone, the noon lay heavy on flower and tree, and the weary day turned to his rest. Lingering like an unloved guest, I sighed for thee. When day was tired of its stay on the earth for a long time, it felt like resting. And yet, day stayed on for some time more, just as a guest might prolong his stay in a house where he is no longer welcome. Here is the use of simile. Lingering like an unloved guest is made very, very appropriately. Next stanza. The brother death came and cried, wouldst thou me, thy sweet child sleep? The filmy eyed murmured like a noontide bee, shall I nestle near thy side? Wouldst thou me? And I replied, no, not thee. The poet is interested neither in death nor in sleep. He looks upon death as the brother of night, and he calls sleep a child of night. Death is also the brother of night because night stands for darkness and death takes human beings into the unknown dark region. Sleep is the child of night because it is during night that human beings are overcome by deep sleep. Both death and sleep offer to come to him. Death is prepared to take him away from this world in case he is sick of life. Sleep, which makes the eyelids close, speaks to the poet very sweetly and softly like the murmuring of a bee at noontime. Sleep offers to creep close to the poet and to send him into a state of temporary forgetfulness. But the poet rejects both these offers because he is attracted only by the night. And then the last stanza. Death will come when thou art dead. Soon, too soon, sleep will come when thou art fled. Oh, neither would I ask the boon I ask of thee, beloved night. Swift be thine approaching flight. Come on, soon, soon come on. Death would come to the poet in its own time. It would not take long in coming to the poet. The poet does not accept the offer of sleep because sleep can come to him when night is gone. He would not like to waste his time in sleeping. He can sleep permanently after death. That's the wonderful poem written by Percy Bysshe Shelley, Tonight, which is at once philosophical and also spiritual, which is felt, the meaning of the poem, the feeling expressed in the poem is being felt by most of us at one point of time or the other in our lives. Thank you.